All right, well, welcome everybody. This is the latest episode of Heighten Your Sixth Sense with Shaun Green. I got a wonderful guest today, Debbie Deknight. She is by way from Georgia, and she is the founder of Right Way Profits. She's bringing 3 decades of accounting and bookkeeping expertise to help you achieve true profitability. As a master certified profit first coach, Debbie specializes in guiding you to pay first and grow your bottom line and build a financially strong business. Ms. Debbie, welcome to the show. I'm just happy to have you to come here today to bless the Heighten Your Success family. So, how you doing? And just welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm doing fantastic. The weather here in Georgia is so much better than Illinois. It's been
Yeah,
great.
I bet probably not as cold, I would imagine, as Illinois.
No, I got a notification on my phone the other day. They were expecting 10 below with windshield, and we were like 45 here. And I thought, yes.
Yeah, definitely. Probably you probably not worried about much snow and ice in Georgia.
No, I love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so same way here in Mississippi for me. We get probably the ice and snow once a year, and then everything shuts down for that week or 2 weeks, however long the ice or lasts. But other than that, we have a little cold weather, but not as bad as Illinois or some of the other colder states. So definitely thankful for that. So I know you all settled in from the move, and how was that transition and everything for you?
So when we moved, it was myself, my son, my husband, and then we also moved my elderly parents with us. So
Mm,
we've got the five of us and five dogs in an Airbnb. We just got our closing dates for January 10th and January 13th. So we've been in this Airbnb since October 14th together.
okay. So I'm sure to say is it's you're ready to move to your permanent destination, I would say.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard being somewhere else for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Hmm.
You don't have your decorations with you. You can't have your normal
Hmm.
holidays. Some of the families missing because they stayed in Illinois. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit of a tough first year.
Yeah. Yeah. I know next year you'll be more settled in, so and everything will be set up the way you want it. So I
Yeah,
know I'll be praying that all happens for you for the next season. So
thank you.
yeah. So I want to get right into it. With over 30 years experience in accounting, financial strategy, what inspired you to transition into helping business achieve profitability through your profit first mastery?
So I've done accounting so long and I've worked for businesses. And then when I had my own business, I was working for businesses through my business. And I see the struggle. I see people working so hard, trying to change their lives, their families' lives. They're fantastic at what they do, but they're not necessarily great at running a business or understanding the financials for a business
Mhm.
and what it truly means. And I just, I don't like seeing people who put so much effort and blood, sweat, and tears into something fail, or even worse, fail and leave their family in a bunch of debt.
Mhm.
That's terrible. Um,
I would definitely say so.
we start businesses because we want to change our lives, our family's life. And for me, it's been almost 8 years now since I started the business, and I knew that I would need to turn around and take care of my parents. I knew I would need to turn around and have a bunch of flexible time, eventually need shorter hours. Um, I knew what was coming eventually.
Mhm.
Alzheimer's runs in the family and different things. And I didn't want to be working for somebody else where I had to ask or beg for time off or to leave early or what have you because I needed to care for my family. So for me, starting the business was about financial and time freedom.
Hmm.
And I want to be a good business owner. I want to be able to have great employees that I treat great, that I give that flexibility to. So it's not just that I'm empowering myself, I'm empowering my employees to do the exact same thing that I'm doing. They need off for an event, they take off. They need a day off, they take it. There's no questions asked. You
Okay.
have to go to a doctor appointment, go. You make up your hours when you can, and I give them that flexibility.
Hmm.
That's what we're missing, I think, a lot in this country. And there's several other countries that are way more um, work-life balance than we are here in the US.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially in my line of work. It's these are the rules. This time you got to be at work.
Mhm.
There's really no work around it. So yeah, you taking having that type of culture and environment for your company is wonderful because that'll encourage people to really work hard for you, but that make them want to stay there because they know you are about building a culture where it's about family and having the balance with the work and life. So that's a really great thing.
I want to be the boss that I wish I had when I was working in corporate America.
Hmm. Yeah. That's having a somebody that has ownership of it, but has understanding, and but they want the 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 employees to feel loved and welcome and
Mhm.
appreciated and have understanding. That's a great thing. And so people will always commend you and they're gonna pay that back to you for being showing them that way. That's really
Yes.
great. That's really a great thing. And then
You
also
know,
I saw that you it was good foresight for you to you saw what was coming ahead for your family, what you wanted, and you saw for you
mhm,
can take care of your parents and all that. So you had so many good purposes behind starting the company. You just the good is coming out in the future progress of the company, I say.
mhm. Yeah, I think we all need to turn around and sit down and decide what is it do we really want,
Mhm.
and how do we make that happen? Can we make that happen? And see what we really want for our future. My husband has changed careers, and he did that 12, 13 years ago now. He's like, I'm done with this. I want to do something different. He installed wood burning stoves and fireplaces. From
Yeah,
Illinois, that was a big thing. And they were 4, 5, 600 pounds a piece. They're carrying them upstairs. He's
yeah,
working on roofs in the ice. You
yeah,
know, he did a lot of physical damage to his body. And my husband is older than I am, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah.
So we turned around and we let him change careers. And then when his career was back to where it was before he changed and his
Hmm.
pay was back to that, I said, okay, now it's my time.
Yeah, your turn. Yeah, that's great. That's really great communication between you guys to really take care of each other and support each other in those. I want to do. It's time to do something different, and you support each other. That's awesome.
He helps me in any way that he can to um, allow me to work longer hours if I need to do the things that I need to grow the business.
Hmm.
He'll try to make dinner. Half the time that involves going to Burger King or McDonald's and picking something up, but hey,
Yeah,
it works.
yeah. At least he's trying. He's putting some effort. That's awesome.
Yeah, he'll do the dishes, he'll do the laundry, he'll help, when I've got a lot of stuff going on. And
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a good team. That's a good team. Y'all supporting each other, building each
Mhm.
other up. Yeah, that's awesome. So your tagline is probability made simple. What does this mean to you, and how do you simplify the path of probabilities for your clients?
So I think I was 2 years into my business and I was on a Zoom with somebody and they asked me, "Have you heard of Profit First?" And I said, "No, what's that?" And they're like, "Here, look it up. There's a book by Mike Michalowicz and it talks all about how to um, arrange your business so that profitability is baked into everything you do and you put your focus on your profitability." And I'm like, well, yeah, that's would solve so many people's problems. We never teach anybody about how to be profitable. We always talk to people about sales, sales, sales. It solves all your problems.
Hmm.
But I know it doesn't because I've worked for multi-million dollar companies who have so much debt and have to take on debt because they're not profitable. They've got the sales figures, but they've got nothing other than that. So I went and I read the book. I talked to people at home base. Um, I decided that that was something that would allow me to take my passion for helping people and really expand that further to help people to really succeed and meet their goals. Um, Went to my first yearly Profit Con and I'm like, this is it. I've found the golden ticket. This is going to change so many people's lives. I implemented it into my own business. I've implemented it into a lot of businesses since.
Hmm.
And I can tell you that if you honestly do the work, this will work for you. There's no way for it not to work unless you're not doing it.
Hmm.
It's not crazy difficult to be profitable. I mean, not to 25, 35, 45%, but just to be profitable, period. The problem is we turn around and we get money in, we have sales, and then we turn around and we pay our expenses. And then if we're lucky, we pay ourselves and usually not what how much we need or what we're worth. And
Hmm.
then when it comes to profit, there's just nothing there. It's gone. Your P&L may say, "Hey, last year you made $45,000, but you got 10 bucks in your bank account.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Where did the money go?" So if you change that and you take your sales and you take your profit first, your set percentage that you're going to take as profit,
Hmm.
then you take your owner's pay, then you put money away to pay your taxes. Because after all, you're profitable. You're going to have to pay taxes now.
Sam
And
coming.
then, yep. And then that amount that's left, that's what you have left to pay your bills. And you simply have to make your bills be less than that amount of money. If your bills are higher than what's left, you have a problem and you need to start cutting expenses. You may have to cut employees.
Hmm.
You may have to change what you're charging people. There's a lot of different ways to fix that in a business. And that's where having somebody who's a coach can be helpful because they've looked at it from many different angles. It's hard when you own a business to be objective when you're looking at things because it's your baby, you know.
Yeah.
and you're looking at it and I need that and I can't do this. And, these people are counting on me. And we're attached to the businesses. Our hearts are attached
Mhm.
to it. And you need an objective person to help you to say, hey, I know you love your employees, but your revenue is 250,000 a year. You cannot support three employees and yourself. It is just not financially, you know, something that you can do. You're
Mhm.
going to have to cut somebody. You need somebody just to be a sounding board, to point out places that might be a way to turn around and fix things. The book is fabulous. If you haven't read the book, read the book. You don't have to get a coach. You don't have to do anything. Read the book and implement opening your 5 basic bank accounts, doing allocations, taking your profit first,
Mhm.
and your business will change for the better.
Okay. And what and the title of the book is Profit First. That's the title of the book.
Yep, it's Profit First, and it's by Mike McAllowitz. You'll find it easily on Amazon.
Okay.
It's on audiobook. You can get a hardcover book. It's worth the read.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. I mean, because it seemed like a really great strategy, and then it's a foundational strategy. Once you kind of, it sounds like once you get it set in place, it kind of just it works for itself, as long as you just follow the steps.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
by having the 5 foundational accounts, you start using what we kind of call a small plates principle. So essentially, usually what we do is we do bank balance accounting nowadays. Everybody grabs their phone, they log in, they look at their one bank account, and they
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, this is how much money I have. And it doesn't actually give you any clarity, and it gives you a false sense of how much money you have to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you logged into your bank account and you've got 50 grand in there, and you're like, oh, yeah, I can do this subscription. I can buy this. Yeah, let me upgrade to the newest iPhone. The business will
Mm-hmm.
pay for this. When in reality, you have, let's just say, materials or subcontractors of 15 grand that you have to pay. You have to turn around and run payroll for 10 grand next week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You've got
Yeah.
these other expenses. So when you look at 50 grand, it's misleading.
Yeah.
So if you have an income account and all your money goes into that income account, and you have a profit account, you have an owner's comp account strictly for your pay. If you have employees, you can have a payroll account. If you have materials and subcontractors that are more than like 25% of your business's
Mm-hmm.
income, you make an account for them. You've got one for your taxes, not only for your business taxes, but to also pay your personal taxes
Yeah.
because the business should be supporting you. And when you allocate from that income account into those other accounts, that 50 grand that you originally saw now might be 12 grand in your OPEX account. And that's what you really have to work with. So you get
Makes sense.
clarity by having multiple accounts with specific purposes, and you put specific percentages of your income into those accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And this way, you're always putting money aside for the things that you have to do. And paying yourself fairly is something you have to do.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be making less money owning a business than what you were making when you worked for someone else.
Yeah, 'cause that's true. Because the reason why you got into the business is to replace that income that you were once making anyway. But you
Hmm.
most likely the goal is to surpass that income and some. Yeah, especially if you have a business where you have employees and you got contractors and payroll, so you got to make what you was making plus, probably say 2 or 3x that amount
Yep.
to
And
sustain your living.
this is how people get into debt. This is how they get into trouble because they spent money they didn't really have to spend. And now they've racked up credit card debt. They've taken out loans. They're not paying themselves. They're behind on their own personal payments to their creditors or their
Hmm.
mortgage or anything else. You've got to turn around and have financial clarity if you want to succeed in a business. And I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care whether you do it with profit first, you do it with something else, you do it yourself, you get a bookkeeper and a coach, whatever it is. Get financial clarity. Without it, you will eventually fail.
Hmm. Yeah.
Whether it's 2 months from now or 6 years from now, you're not going to make it if you don't understand your numbers.
Yeah, that
So,
makes a lot of sense.
we always work for somebody else and we don't realize how important the numbers are. You were the lead plumber in a large company for 10 years and now you've gone out on your own and you do fantastic work. You've got people who love you, but if you can't control your spending, if you're not pricing your services right, you're going to fail.
Hmm.
It's like being on a hamster wheel and you're running and faster and faster and faster, and you're working your tushy off and you're getting more revenue and more revenue. And in the end, you're not taking home any extra money. You have no money for profit.
Hmm.
And now you've turned around and had to take out a loan. You're worse than
Yep.
when you were working for somebody else.
Even further in debt. Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
So we have to have a way to fix this. I mean, we turned around, we came from Illinois, we came to Georgia, and we drive around, and, it's all big stores, big companies, the mom
Mhm.
and pop places, you know, are few and far between anymore.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because this country was built on the back of small business owners.
Yeah.
And I feel if I can help educate them, if I can get them to put a system in place that I know without a doubt is going to work, then I'm doing something that's touching so many people's lives and making it better.
Hmm.
I'm in my own small way, just doing God's work and
Yeah.
changing people's lives.
Yeah. And you re invigorating, rebuilding the origins of the American dream. You said it was built on small businesses. Cause like
Yes.
even in my area I live, it's you have few boutiques and little shops, but overall when people go shop, they go to the big places. Walmart, Target,
Mhm.
stuff like that. You don't really think of the local smaller places.
That is something that I'm always very aware of when I go shopping or I do things, or if I'm going to go eat at a restaurant. I always try to go to, the local business owner. Now, if I go and their food sucks, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
But I want to give them what business I can. I definitely try to visit anything that I know is owned by a veteran,
Mhm.
and give them my business. So, for example, um, in the new house, I want to have a bunch of house plants. That's just been something I wanted for so long, and my other
Mhm.
home wasn't big enough for me to be able to do that without the dogs knocking into everything and
Mhm.
stuff. So um, I turned around, I ordered my plants, and I went on Etsy. And I turned around and ordered some 3D pots for my plants from a veteran-owned business on Etsy. I do a lot of shopping
Oh,
on
okay.
Etsy to support small businesses if I can. Um, Not to say I wasn't at Red Lobster earlier this week, because I was, but I always have an eye open
Yeah,
for
that's
something
that's
like that.
yeah, that's a good thing because you're building up somebody locally in your area, but you're also building
Hmm.
up your local economy as well. Put money back into your local county or city. So
Yes.
hmm that's smart. Well, I know I'm a veteran as well, so it's like I go to places and like y'all have veteran discount. Like most places be like no. It's like that's crazy. I don't understand why they don't.
I have a veteran discount if you work with me on Profit First Coaching. I do offer a discount.
Oh, awesome. I definitely keep that in mind. Definitely. So we're talking about profit first. As the Profit First Master Certified Coach, what do you find most impactful about the Profit First methodology, and why does it resonate so well with your clients?
So you'll find when you read the book, the stories that Mike has in the book are going to resonate with people because, in some way, shape, or form, we all have the same problem. We all have the same issues
Mhm.
going on in the business. And by turning around and starting to use Profit First, number one, you're going to start to change the way you think, because you're going to think about your profit first. So you're going to turn around and have somebody, let's just say, that you need to quote a job for. And when you create that proposal, you're going to be doing it with an eye to profitability. When you're turning around and doing things, you're just going to start shifting the way that you're looking at it. It's not going to be about volume. It's
Mhm.
going to be about profitability of jobs. I cannot tell you how many times I've worked with a client who would take jobs because they were underbidding somebody else, and they just wanted the work. So they had their original proposal. Somebody else had a lower one. They had to go underneath that person's. And when we sat down and we figured out, well, what did you make on that job? They didn't make anything.
They
And
just working for
quite if
free.
they were working for free, and a lot of times it actually costs them money to take the job.
Wow,
We
that's not good
have
business.
no, we have to turn around and realize that our experience is worth something. There's a value to it. And we can't just do the McDonald's dollar menu. You
Mhm.
know, we have to charge where we're making a profitable job.
Mhm. Yeah.
And if it's not going to be profitable, we're wasting our time doing it. We have to look at our services and our products and maybe make a shift in our business.
Mhm.
A lot of times we've got people who have maybe three different lines of revenue, and we go into the company and we do a big analysis on a bunch of jobs, and we turn around and find out that the other two lines that they're doing in the business actually aren't profitable, and only one line that they're doing, one specific thing that they're doing is where they're profitable, and that is carrying the other two lines that aren't making anything. And if they would get rid of the other two things and
Mm-hmm.
not do them, all of a sudden they're way more profitable because they're not supporting things that weren't profitable and they were losing money on.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many things to look at when you run a business. People don't understand a lot of what goes into pricing and what goes into labor and what is your actual labor burden. They're thinking when they price out something, I'm paying somebody 25 bucks an hour and I'm good. That's not true. You're paying somebody 25 bucks an hour. You've got to pay the employer portion of the taxes, which depending where you are 7 or 8%.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to turn around and pay workers' comp on
Yeah.
that person. You know what I mean? You've got to take all these other things into consideration when you're figuring out your pricing, because an employee is just not their hourly rate.
Yeah. You got to pay for like medical insurance, all that type of stuff too.
Yep. And that
Mm.
all needs to be supported.
Mm.
So you might be paying somebody $25 an hour, but you might have an all-in cost of 38 an hour. So you better make sure when you're billing them out that you're billing them out at more than 38 bucks an hour.
Mm-hmm. So you actually do be able to pay yourself, pay the employee, and pay everything else associated with the business. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got to have money
Mm.
for overhead. You've got to have money to keep the doors open.
Yeah.
So again, financial clarity, you've got to get it,
Mm-hmm.
and there aren't a lot of people who like doing their books. There aren't a lot of people who like to dig into the numbers. And I get that. That's just like there aren't a lot of people going into the accounting industry anymore in colleges and different
Yeah.
things. But whether you like it or not, it's a fact of life being a business owner. You have to learn
Yeah.
to know them or to have somebody
Why they doing it?
that is your right hand person who can turn around and help you to know and understand them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the decisions you make in your business, I mean, you could flip a coin
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have the right information to make any decisions.
Yeah. So you got to have a coach, or you either you really got to be really knowledgeable about whatever type of business you're in, but you gotta be knowledgeable about the finance part of the business too.
Yep.
And if you're not good at it, you need to have somebody like yourself or somebody that does have that knowledge to be able to have that side intact and everything running smoothly. But not the
Mm-hmm.
business. Ultimately, the business will fail no matter how good you are at the actual business.
Right now is cleanup time of year. So for us, starting in December, we start getting a bunch of calls from people who need their books done so they can start getting ready for tax time.
Hmm.
And it gets even worse January, February, March. I mean, they start coming out of the woodwork for that.
Yeah.
But these people haven't sometimes done their books for the entire year. So tell me, if you don't have your books done, what did you use to base your business decisions off of for this year? And
Yeah.
their answer is usually, I made my best guess.
Wow.
That is not how your business succeeds.
No.
So
Going
If you're out
straight
there,
to zero, like Mr.
yeah,
Wonderful say. He's going straight to zero. Watch the Shark Tank.
you know, if your books aren't caught up and you know how to do it, please catch them up and keep them caught up on a weekly basis so that you have good financial information to make your business decisions on. And if you don't know how to do it, or you can kind of do it and you need a little training, reach out to somebody that can help you. Don't leave this stuff wait until year end because I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're already on a wait list for our cleanup
Mm.
work. We just started the wait list this week.
How
That
far is
wait
that? How far is that?
right now is to probably the middle to end of January for us to start your cleanup.
Mm. So y'all better hurry up and get on that list.
You know, and what's going to happen is if you don't have a good CPA and you start to reach out to a CPA to do your business taxes in another 30 to 45 days, they're going to start telling you no, they're full.
Mhm.
It happens every year because they only have so many slots because they have to have it done by a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So you want your books to be kept up. You want them to be ready for taxes. You want to just be able to give your CPA your information and be done because it gets crazy during
Mhm.
tax time. And you don't want to be left trying to find somebody to clean up your books and file your taxes because chances are you're filing an extension because it's not going to happen in time.
Mhm. Yeah, especially if you're that far behind, and just because they got to get that
Mhm.
caught up before they can do the taxes. So.
Yeah, if somebody
Mm.
comes to us and they're like 30 or 60 days behind, it's no big deal. Pom, 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 and we've got it. We're off to go. But I had somebody the other day that's 3 years behind. 3 years.
Oh wow.
So if you take away anything from our talk today, make it take your finances seriously. Keep them caught up. They're they're not just a nuisance. They're an essential thing of your business that you need to keep your thumb on your pulse on.
Hmm. Exactly. Another thing, this question popped in mind. I know your focus is business, but this property first strategy, is this something that, say, a person is not in business, but they want help with their regular household stuff, just regular life stuff. Is this something that can apply to that as well?
Absolutely. It can be
Mm-hmm.
for business or personal. And if there's anybody out there who is wanting to do it personally and have a coach, reach out to me. I have a fabulous person who teaches profit first for you for your home.
No, okay, awesome.
We do not, we only do business.
Yeah, your company is business, but you there are other people that you know that do work with
Yes.
personal home. Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, he's a friend of mine. I
Mm.
know him and he is um, doing a ton of personal profit first coaching.
Okay, that's awesome. Like that way this something that can go both ways. It can help people personal and business. So.
I find a lot of times people who implement it in their business and start to see the success of it will turn
Mm.
around and implement it in their
Yeah,
home life too.
it only makes sense. Yeah, because really, I forgot who I heard say this. It was one entrepreneur, but they was basically saying that you should run your household, your regular personal, just like a business as well.
Mhm.
So it shouldn't be any different. Dan Martell, so it's an entrepreneur. Dan Martell, he's a big following on YouTube. He's very successful entrepreneur. I heard him say that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You have to have control of your personal finance. finances. You need to have money set aside for mortgages and obligations.
Mm-hmm.
You should have a certain amount that's for your entertainment, certain amount for like groceries and clothes. And if you don't have them broken out into um, specific accounts, when that paycheck comes in, you again look at your bank account and, oh, golly, it was
Mm-hmm.
payday. Let's go shopping. You
Yeah.
know, you don't have the clarity.
Mm-hmm. I got
That's why, like in my grandmother's day, they used the envelope system. They had an envelope that said groceries, one that said mortgage or
you.
rent. They had the one that said clothes. They'd go to the bank, they'd cash their check, they'd bring the
Mm-hmm.
cash home, and they'd put certain amounts in each envelope every time they got paid. And they could only use what was in the envelope. If the envelope was empty, they were done.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was money that they didn't spend one week, that meant the next week, if they needed a little extra, there was some extra in that envelope. But going back, I mean, my grandmother has passed, but at this point, she would have been what, about nine, no, yeah, 96, 98.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, going back 100 years, they were turning around and doing this for their personal finances.
Yeah. That's a
You know,
smart system. I think Dave Ramsey has some words used to teach that as well. Envelope
mm,
system. Mm-hmm.
essentially, Profit First is the envelope system for businesses brought into
Modern
this
times.
century,
Yeah.
you know.
Like they say, it's nothing new in the sun, right? No, that's cool. Uh, so you're passionate about helping business owners achieve financial independence. How do you guide them in gaining clarity over the cash flow and accounting strategies?
So the first thing that we do is we look at your books. If you're behind, we get you caught up. And then we turn around and we look at your P&L. So for most people, especially if they've done their chart of accounts, which are the items
Mm-hmm.
that show on a P&L themselves, or they've had a CPA do it for them, they'll find when they look at the report, it doesn't really tell them much. It says your insurance was 2,000, your car expenses were 500, your utilities for your location was 2 grand. What does that tell you? Not
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So we'll revamp the P&L, the chart of accounts, to give them clarity on exactly where their money is going. So that, car or auto is now going to have subcategories: gas, car
Mm-hmm.
repairs,
Yeah.
tolls, so that when they look at their auto, they can say, okay, what went into my auto number? When they look at their insurance, they're going to see car insurance, they're going to see workers' comp insurance, they're going to see business insurance. They're going to, again, know what that insurance really is.
Mm-hmm.
Utilities, gas, electric, internet, if they have garbage pickup or anything, it's
Mm-hmm.
broken out.
Just great.
Once
Everything is broken out.
everything is broken out, you've got your main category and then you've got subcategories underneath, which is the breakout. And once you have a P&L that's broken out, you get instant clarity on where your money's going. Now, it may be going where you don't want it going, or too much is going where it's going, but you can actually see where it's going. And once we have that, then we're good with your books, we're good with your accounting. We're going to turn around and work on Profit First. We're going to start with our bank accounts. We're going to understand the behaviors that we need to put in place. We're going to have allocations. We're going to figure out percentages. We're going to figure out a plan to get you from point A to point B in the next 24 months. Now, for some people, 24 months is doable.
Mm-hmm.
And for some businesses, if their percentages are really, really out of whack, it might take them longer. But we've got a guide. Every quarter, we're going to change your percentages. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
reduce your OPEX. We're going to increase your um, profit, your owner's pay, and your taxes. And we're going to do that every quarter until we get you to where you should be.
Okay. You have a plan. That's good.
So let's just say, yep, let's just say that for a business of your size, you should have an OPEX of 50%, and your OPEX is 92%. We have to turn around and slowly make that change. And
Okay.
as we do that, you're going to be bringing home more money. Every quarter, you get 50% of your profit to come to you, and
Wow.
50% goes into a profit hold account that's for your business as a savings account that you do not touch. That savings account, that profit hold,
Mm-hmm.
saved a lot of businesses when COVID hit. They might have had to dip into that money, but
Mm-hmm.
they stayed alive
That kept them
because
afloat. Yeah.
they were doing profit first, and they had 6 months, 8 months worth of their operating expenses saved.
Yeah. That's incredible.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
if your business has debt, instead of you taking 50%, you take 5% for you, and you take the other 45% and you pay down one of your debts and you get your business debt free.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So there's just so many ways to make your financial situation in your business better.
Yeah.
You don't have to go on the way that you're going. There are options.
Okay. It sounds like the the plan and the foundation you have in place when a business comes to you, no matter where they're at, because every business gonna be at different levels. You have a
Yes.
basically you have a roadmap and a game plan that's gonna get them to the positive, debt free. The owners of the business actually paying themselves. So that
Mhm.
it seems like it's a seamless plan that you have in place that's really working.
It does work. And we do it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I help to guide you, to give you ideas, to give you a sounding board, to give you someone just to complain to sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
Because
to vent. Yeah.
you just need to vent to
Mm-hmm.
somebody who gets it.
Yep.
Some days I vent to my husband and he just looks at me and his eyes roll, and you can just see he has no idea what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
you know? And it's just nice having somebody who gets it,
Mm-hmm.
who can say, okay, now that you got that out of your system, what are we going to do to fix this?
Yeah.
Let's make a plan. Let's move forward. Having an accountability partner is so important. And it could be
Mm-hmm.
your friend, it could be your spouse, it could be someone like me, but someone that's going to hold your feet to the fire and make you accomplish the things that you need to accomplish, because as business owners, we're so busy. And when
Mm-hmm.
we have small businesses, we wear so many hats
Yeah. Because you're
that,
working on the business
yeah,
and in the business at the same time, most times. Yeah.
I really want to get people eventually to where they're working on the business and not in the
Yeah.
business anymore.
Mhm.
Because that's when people start making their dreams happen.
Yeah. And you can
Their
actually.
dream isn't to, yeah, to be in the field forever.
Mhm.
Their dream is to build a sustainable business that will work without them and support them financially and with the time that they want.
Yeah. You're right. So right. That is so true. I mean, and I think that's why a lot of businesses fail because people get so frustrated, and then the finances not together with the business, but they're frustrated because I stopped working the job for I don't have to work, but I'm still working 80, 90 plus hours a week because I'm working in the business to keep the business alive. So,
And I don't see any progress. That's the
exactly.
problem. They
Hmm.
don't see progress.
Hmm. So, with your expertise and your opinion with evolving business landscape and tools, how do you see the role of financial coaching evolving, like in the next, 5 to 10 years?
I think financial coaching is going to definitely grow in the next 5 to 10 years. I think AI will eventually take on um, more of the bookkeeping duties, like the
Mm.
data entry part.
Yeah.
Um, but it will never take over for an accountant. So, like, we're accountants, but we're not CPAs. We're not a CPA firm. We don't do taxes. But a data entry person is just that. They plug things in. We understand what's going on. We do things on the balance sheet. We create assets and liabilities and we put in loans and you know what I mean? We're not
Mm.
just data entry. There's a
Yeah.
different level that's kind of like QuickBooks a few years ago came out with their own accounting little department. And the fee is cheap.
Hmm.
It is. Um, but the people they have working for them are just data entry people. They don't look at something and say, hey, I need to turn around and create a liability account for this car loan. I need to turn around and make sure this deposit is put in there correctly. I need to break out the interest on all these payments that have been done. They put stuff in, and we get a lot of people that come to us who were using the service and they're like, my books are screwed up. Yes, you
Hmm.
had a data entry person.
Not a real, right, not a real professional. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. Makes That's a big difference. You pay for what you get. No, like they always say.
it's true. I mean, think about it. I've done this for over 30 years. I'm master certified in the coaching.
Hmm.
The thousands of hours of experience that I have is different than using the QuickBooks. I
No,
mean,
definitely.
you're
No, definitely.
getting different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to Menards or going to Lowe's. Lowe's is nice.
Hmm.
They have some nice stuff, but Menards is cheaper, but their stuff
Yeah.
isn't as good. Not that
Exactly.
I do my own home repairs that I can tell you about the two
Yeah.
things,
Yeah. I feel you. I
but
feel you.
it's going to McDonald's or it's going to Longhorn Steakhouse.
Hmm.
It depends
Yeah.
on what's most important to you.
Yeah.
Is it the price or the quality of the food that you're going to eat?
Yeah. Quality, let's say quality over quantity, or how people say,
Mhm.
Yeah. It's very true though. Very true. Because when you at your level of expertise, you are surpassed that 10,000 hour mark. I'm sure a long time ago. And they say you have to get 10,000 hours in something to be an expert or a genius level in that field. And so you have surpassed it. Yeah.
And I surround myself with people who are smarter than me. That is so important to do
Mhm.
in business because that helps you to grow, it helps you to learn, they help to push you
Mhm.
to be better and to do better.
Exactly. You always
So,
want people that's gonna pull you up. Yeah.
yep, always
Elevate you.
surround yourself
Mhm.
with smarter people.
Yeah. Never, because you. They say if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes.
Mhm. That's very true. Um, Last few questions. You build an incredible legacy as a profit first master coach and a business advisor. What's next for you in both professionally, personally?
Personally, it's going to be um, eventually cutting back my hours to spend
Okay.
more time and take, more time with my parents.
Hmm.
Um, but for the business, it's growing. It's, hiring more people who are going to make differences in other people's lives too.
Yeah.
It's creating a business where employees are happy to come to work, that they feel valued and appreciated, and having clients who want to excel at what they're doing, people who want to turn around and make their dreams, you know, happen. We don't just take anybody on as a client for bookkeeping or coaching.
Yeah.
We're selective. When I first started my business, I did. But we're at a point where I'm not going to work with somebody for coaching who doesn't really want to put in the work, who doesn't have that passion to
Hmm.
succeed, who's going to do what they need to do, to meet their goals.
Yeah. Exactly.
And, it's the same for bookkeeping. If we have a chat and we don't mesh, then we don't take you on as a client.
Hmm. It makes sense. You want somebody that's gonna match your energy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We want somebody who wants good books. We want somebody who's going to be responsive to questions. We want somebody who is really invested in, having clarity and understanding what's going on in their business.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense because the level of client you bring on into the business, you always want
Mhm.
to you want to have people on the same level as you for its energy and the goals and aspirations of what they want. But now it's
Yeah,
always gonna be a friction, a fight if if they don't want the same thing as what you want. You know?
it got real old real quick trying to drag people kicking and screaming to give us answers, to get their homework done for coaching, to put in the effort.
Hmm.
So now I just don't work with people who essentially don't want to work.
Yeah, I get it. It makes so much sense. It really does. Um, is there any advice you could give to small business entrepreneurs struggling in the financial to achieve financial clarity or profitability, other than the things you already said?
I think it's important for them to know that they're not alone. Trust me, whatever your books look like, whatever mistakes you've made, there have been a ton of people who've made them before you, and there's going to be a ton of people who make them after you. You can't let your mistakes dictate your future. You pick yourself up, dust your butt off,
Hmm.
and you take the next step forward to get to where you need to be. There's no shame in failure. Failure is how you eventually succeed.
Hmm. That's how you learn.
Yep. If you don't understand your finances, find somebody to help you.
Yeah.
Don't just stay in the situation that you're in. We tend to be afraid to show people our mistakes, our issues, our vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to get over that to get the help that you need. I turned around 2 years ago and I adopted the motto of screw it, just do it.
Yeah.
And anything that was uncomfortable, anything that I didn't want to do business wise, I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's how you grow.
Whether it was going on podcasts, it was going to conferences, it was, um, I got up and spoke at the Profit First conference 2 years ago in front of all my
Yeah.
peers there. I've done things for marketing that were uncomfortable, all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things. And things aren't as scary as you make them out to be in your mind.
Yeah.
When you
That's it.
actually do it, it's not so bad. And the more you do it, the more you're going to grow, the more your business is going to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have that screw it, just do it mindset, you you are the one holding your business back.
Exactly. So true. But that's how you expand your paradigm. That's how you elevate
Hmm.
yourself. You build your self image and your self confidence by doing the things that are comfortable. The thing, but Bob Proctor called it the terror bearer. He said he only did things that pushed that terror bearer. Because that's when you grow. That's how you get to the
Yes.
next level. Because if you're doing something that's comfortable, you've done it before, you're familiar with it. It's not pushing you. Yeah.
Well, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and
No.
over again, expecting different results.
Yeah. Exactly.
We do that in our businesses all the time, and we have to stop.
Hmm. So true. So true. Yeah. So true. Last question. What are three key actions or mindsets you recommend our listeners to adapt to create sustainability, profitability in their business?
I think you need to change your mind shift to profit being your focus.
Mhm.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't focus on sales. Focus on profitable sales. Take your profit first and set it aside. You have to kind of shift this thinking. Your OPEX, your expenses, they need to be lower. Just because your sales are increasing doesn't mean that your expenses should be increasing at the same rate. Okay, I know when sales go up, expenses go up, but your expenses should only be going up a small amount. Okay, if
Mhm.
they're matching, you're on that hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, and if things aren't going the way you want them to go, and you're just keeping doing that insanity thing going on, stop, do something different,
Yeah.
whether it's reaching out to somebody or getting help or getting an accountability coach or whatever it is. Stop the insanity and make a move that's actually going to be a needle mover in your business.
Yeah. Uh,
And let's see. Lastly, don't let fear dictate what you're going to do.
yeah.
Good things in life do not come easy. If they did, everybody would be rich,
Mhm.
beautiful. thin and have everything they want.
Yep.
I know you can work for what you want. I know you can do it. Move out of your comfortable spot and make the needle changing moves. Do what you need to move forward. If people want to chat, if they have some questions, I am more than happy to jump on a quick 15-minute Zoom call where they can ask me anything. But taxes are a no-no. We are not a tax firm, so I do not answer tax questions. But if you have other questions, I'm happy to do that. And even if it's, you want a referral to somebody who does the profit first for your home, or you need a good CPA referral, or there's something that I can do for you to point you in the direction to get out of that vicious little circle that you're on, let me know because I'm ready to push the babies out of the nest and give you a little kick in the tushy
Yeah.
to start making your dreams a reality.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate that. That's really some great advice, and I pray that people hear that, resonate with that, and receive it, and actually, but other most importantly, take action upon it. So, if you don't take any action, inaction leads to nothing. So, well, I appreciate you, Miss Debbie, tonight. Blessing the Heighten Sixes family today with your knowledge and wisdom and your understanding and this financial elevation and inspiring people to make a change financially. It's really going to be great, not only for business owners, but even people personally. They may want to read the Private First book and use it either way. So I think it's going to be good for the audience in general. So I really appreciate it.
I was so happy to be invited onto the show. I wish you all the best for 2025.
Yeah, same, same. Much love from Heighten Sixes with Shaun Green, Miss Debbie Deknight. And we just wishing you the best and happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and Happy New Year as well. And we'll be seeing you guys on the next episode. Much love. Peace.